The next morning, a teacher from that grade level came over before school started and made it very clear that she didn't necessarily agree with me doing that and didn't like, I won't say that she didn't, I don't think she said those words, but it was clear that she took issue with me doing that. Good morning. Here is today's outfit. I am wearing this black top from Old Navy that is pretty new. I'm wearing these pants here that have like a leopard print on it. They are not new. I got these last summer, I think. And then I'm wearing this sweater that is actually from a student a few years back. I'm just wearing this to keep myself warm. I'll probably take it off at the end of the day when it warms up. And then these black flats. I'm off to get some breakfast from Starbucks, and I'll see you guys later. Okay, it's a 6:45. I'm leaving early, or I'm trying to get to work early because I have a student teacher that is starting today, and I want to make sure I have everything I need ready for the day so that when she gets there, I don't feel frazzled and I have time to kind of devote myself to her. I won't say her name because I don't know if she's going to want to be mentioned by name on the vlogs. I did text her over the weekend to say, you know, my class and I are looking forward to you coming on Monday. And then as a side note, I do teacher vlogs, and I told her she's welcome to participate or not. So until I know for sure if she's okay with it or not, I won't say her name. But she's supposed to come at 7:45, and she'll be with me for 8 weeks. I have had a student teacher before, and I didn't have a bad experience. I just don't think that it was the best experience, and not by any fault of the student teacher. It was just it was my first time having a student teacher, and I was paired with someone who I think at the time was still not feeling very confident in herself. So she was still very timid and still very apprehensive about taking over the class. And this is obviously when I taught 5th grade. So she never really did that. Like, she never really transitioned into to the point where she was pretty much teaching the class for the majority of the day. And I don't necessarily think that that's her fault. I think some of that is my fault, because even if I saw that she was uncomfortable doing it as her mentor teacher, I think it was my responsibility to kind of, you know, push her out there and kind of help her to get over that. And I didn't really do that. So when I say it was not the best experience, I mean really just because I don't think I did what I should have done in that role. She did do a couple lessons, but they were typically only when she absolutely had to do them for her purposes. So that's happening today. It is very windy out here today, which is never what I want to wake up to. I'm headed to Starbucks right now to get some breakfast and a coffee because I refused to go to the grocery store yesterday and I have no breakfast. And aside from that, later on today after school, I am meeting up with the other members of the negotiations team. These are the people that were at the negotiations table when we were working on our tentative agreement with the district, and we are going to have lunch to celebrate that we are done with that process and that the contract was approved. So I am looking forward to that, to having a nice lunch that lasts more than 40 minutes. As far as my weekend, I went to dinner with my cousins on Saturday, but aside from that, I really spent most of my time grading or lesson planning, and I'm still not done lesson planning yet. And that was really it. Nothing exciting happened. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to get this breakfast sandwich and hope that it's not super busy. And then I will probably talk to you guys when I get back to school at some point. So I'll see you then.
6. How do we exclude 2 4 and Justin has 2 6?
Okay. She has, why do you have these 3 rows underneath the 1 hole? What is the 1/8 representing? The 2 1/8s?
I think I have to take those out.
So, I mean, you guys have modeled it, but now what?
we have to figure out how to explain how we know it's correct.
Okay, so that's what I shared some discussion about. The question is asking you, who climbed the highest? Who climbed the highest out of the three of them, and how do you know? Okay, it's 1:55. I was supposed to be at a little restaurant about 10 minutes ago to meet up with the other members of the bargaining team. We were supposed to be there between 1:30 and 1:45. I really thought I was going to get there by 1:45, but of course after school time flies. Partly because I was just, touching base and wrapping up the day with my student teacher. I talked to her this morning. She's perfectly fine with me saying her name. Her name is Melissa. I don't know if you'll see her. It just depends on how things pan out, but she seems very open and willing, not shy at all. I think her and I are going to be a good fit in terms of what she's looking for and looking to pick up from someone who has experience teaching in my particular style. Like, I think we both are very big on classroom management and different organizational things. So I think it'll be a good match in that regard. And she seemed very comfortable with the kids. Like, I had her introduce herself this morning. And even though she was just introducing herself, just the overall way in which she spoke and talked to the kids, I could tell that she was fairly comfortable. She didn't come across as timid or shy. So that is good. So I'm on my way to have some lunch to celebrate. As far as the day, it was just pretty hectic, being a Monday and a minimum day, and having this be the first day of me having a student teacher. I also had a student's mom that wanted to come in and observe her son while I administered a listening test. So in Wonders, for the past several weeks now, I've been creating listening tests of my own, because listening comprehension is an area that our district has been struggling with when it comes to CASP testing just across the board. And my friend Michelle, who teaches third at my old school, had started making listening tests last year, but you get busy and then you don't really get a chance to make listening tests for every new learning block of Wonders. So I've been making them as we go, and I've been sharing them with her. And her son has not been doing as well as she would like on these listening tests. So she just kind of wanted to see the format in which they're given, like what happens just before he takes the test, and all of that. So she came in to watch that. Then my mom popped in for a hot second, and so it's just it was busy. We basically just got through math. I introduced the new learning block in Wonders that we're going to be starting, and what I would really like to do, I have all my TEs in the back seat, is to get this learning block planned out and then share with you guys the where I'm at in terms of my journey with Wonders and planning and feeling more like I'm doing the program justice or using it properly. So that's pretty much it. I wanted to check in with you guys during the day, but we were on inclement weather because it was super windy, and recess and lunch would typically be the time where I check in, but obviously the kids were in the classroom, and I had my student teachers, so it didn't really work out. We started chapter 9 of math, still working on fractions, so they started off the chapter using fraction tiles. Today they were comparing fractions to see which one was greater than the other, using fraction strips to model out problems they were given. And I was brave, and I sent home a baggie of fraction strips with each of my students so that they would have it for homework. I know I could have done the paper strips, but I don't like those little paper fraction strips. So I sent them home. I sent the parents a text to remind, saying that I sent these home, but that it's very important that they come back. And I said, if they don't bring them back tomorrow, I will take 50% of their dojo points. Now that sounds very harsh, but that kind of threat typically works. So anyway, I'm gonna head over to lunch, and I might take some footage there if they're comfortable, and that might be it for the day. It just depends on how I feel when I get home and how focused I want to be on getting some work done. So see you guys when I see you. All right, good morning. Here's today's outfit. First of all, I'm aware that I have this clip in my hair but I have a very unruly strand of hair that I'm trying to tame at the moment, so please excuse it. Today is Read My Shirt Day for Literature Week, so we were asked to wear a shirt that says something on it. So mine is just like a world map. It says work less, travel more. And I'm wearing a red sweater to go with it that is from Target. These white jeans that are from New York & Company, some sandals, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and a white and gold Michael Kors watch. That's all. Good evening. Sometimes I feel like I should start something called bathroom vlogs because I feel like I end up in here vlogging a lot at night just because the lighting is better, because it's dark in my bedroom. I wasn't gonna jump on here because I'm so tired and I have a homework. I have a headache. It's a little after 7:30, it's probably close to 8. I just got home. When I woke up this morning, I knew that today was going to be a very long day, and I was right. So I just got home from the African American Parent Educator Group called APEC. This meeting was a little bit more significant because now we have transitioned from having this very small group of people who were the parent founders and district representatives to now it's grown into we have representation from every school site in our district. So this was kind of like the official first meeting of the more formalized group. So I need to lean my arm down on my paper towels. So that was nice. I mean, I think it's good progress, and hopefully good things come from the committee and we continue to see progress in terms of working together with the parents in the district. Today, aside from it just being long, it was pretty hectic, and it started off right off the bat. Like, I was feeling pretty good when I got to work this morning because I got there a little bit earlier than what I had planned to. And today I thought we were going to have our Kagan coach. So there's a teacher in the district who teaches, I think, a job share, maybe like an 80-20 or something, like 80% of the week, and another teacher covers 20% of the week, which equates to, she teaches 4 days, the 20% teaches 1 day, in case some of you don't know what job shares are. Because a part of her job, in addition to teaching, is she coaches people who are learning different Kagan structures, supports you. She'll come show you a structure. And so earlier in the year, she came to each of our classrooms and showed us a structure of our choosing. And so she showed me, I can't remember what it was called. I need to, sorry, my arm is fatigued. It's been a while. I can't remember, I can't remember the structure that she showed me what it was called. I'll have to look it up, but my kids ended up really liking it, and it was a structure that you can use to review. So I have been using it to review for social studies and science tests. So I thought this was gonna be another day where she comes in and she shows me a new structure, and then at about, I'm gonna say at about 8 o'clock or somewhere around there, the principal gets on the loudspeaker and says, okay guys, make sure you've put in the structure that you are going to be showing Julia when she gets there. So then of course I was like, oh crap, because I was the first teacher she was coming to at 8:30, and I was nowhere near prepared because I was thinking she's coming to show me something. So I had to quickly pick a Kagan structure that I was gonna be able to do and feel successful about, and that kind of went along with what I had planned for the morning because I really needed to not deter from my schedule. So I did. But when she came in, I told her, like, this is going to be a total experiment. I've never even done this structure with this class before, let alone use it to correct math homework. So I felt like, I had to fumble my way through it a little bit, but I got nothing but positive remarks. So it was probably one of those situations where I felt like things weren't going well, but they were fine. So that just made the morning hectic, and it was a little out of order. I'm just trying to find the right angle. And then that just kind of threw everything else off. So it was just kind of hectic. And then this afternoon we went to the library for a special activity, and that's it. So there's a couple of things that I started in class that I didn't get to finish. So I didn't get to finish my Wonders small groups. But you know what? That happens every day. I have a plan of things to do and a list of things I'd like to accomplish with my class, and it's rare that I get all of them done. So, but that was my day. I left school at about 3:15, and I've been in that meeting since 3:30 till about 7:30. So I am officially home. I am super hungry, so I'm gonna take a shower. I'm gonna eat my leftovers. I didn't even eat dinner last night because I needed to save the leftovers for today. So last night for dinner, I had cheese and crackers. So I'm gonna sign off now because the phone's ringing. I'm pretty sure it's Liza, but I wanted to check in and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, here's my outfit today. Today is Twin Day for Literature Week. And so I hope the principal is wearing the same shirt. We ordered this from Amazon for Halloween, and it says, "This is my human costume. I'm really a fox," because our school mascot is a fox. So that's why I'm wearing this shirt, and then I just put it on with a cardigan from Target. I am wearing some jeans from Old Navy and these flats from Old Navy. So that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Hello, it is about 5:15 on Wednesday. This is the first chance I'm getting to check in with you guys, but I definitely wanted to do that because I know I haven't vlogged at all in my classroom. I don't think I did it all last week because it was just a one-day vlog for that Friday, and I haven't done it at all this week because I haven't had the opportunity, and I am just wrapping up cleaning up in my classroom, and I thought this would be a great time to do that. And there were a couple of things that I wanted to share with you guys because I was pretty excited about it. The first thing is a book that I read today, and I found out about this book from Courtney at Ramona Recommends on Instagram. If you don't follow her, she is a very good resource because, as she likes to say, picture books are her jam. So she has just a vast knowledge of different picture books that you could read for different purposes. So this caught my attention because we are recognizing women that have made a difference in the world and just women in general for the month. And so she put this on her Instagram account, and as soon as she described it or I looked it up, I knew I wanted to get it. So it is called Pocket Full of Colors. It is the magical world of Mary Blair, Disney Artist Extraordinaire is what it says. And basically this story tells, or this book tells the story of the first female artist that worked for Disney. And my kids really, really liked it, and I really enjoyed reading it. I did not read it ahead of time, so I was kind of reading it as I went, or I was reading it for the first time as I read it to them. And my student teacher who was here, she also commented how much she enjoyed it. And what we liked about it, I feel like the lighting is really poor. That's better. I just realized the lighting was really bad. So the kids really enjoyed it. I enjoyed reading that book. Because everybody can relate to Disney, and not all the kids in my class knew what A Small World was. So when it came to the part of the book where they hint that she was going to work on this big project for Disney, I paused and said, what do you guys think it's going to be? Because the illustrations kind of lend themselves for them to guess it's A Small World. And they were just really excited to find out that she did in fact design the ride. So now when they go to Disneyland, they have a little bit of background on it, and they were excited to see a picture of the real person because there is that in the back. So I don't know if she watches. I know that I've met her and she's a very nice woman. But Courtney at Ramona Recommends, thank you so much for all your knowledge on picture books because I love buying them. I bought quite a few other ones that I will, I think, share as I read them. But I spent, a couple days ago, I spent about $100 in books, which is the most I've ever spent in one sitting. But I feel very good about it. So I wanted to share that with you. I also want to show you these little fraction robots that I'm making. They're not super involved or intense, but they're cute. So here they are. I will try and find, this is from Teachers Pay Teachers, and I had the paper that told me where they're from, but I can't find it. So it just shows just some basic fractions. So there's halves on here, fourths, and I think that's it, just in different variations. So it was just a fun activity for the kids to do, to just reiterate our beginning stages of learning about fractions. And it will look nice for back to school night, which for me is in a couple of weeks. I personally am stressed about it because this is the first time that I've been at a site where they have chosen to have back to school night before testing. So on the one hand, we need to get these things done, but on the other hand, I feel like it's taking away from some time that I might need prior to testing, but it is what it is. So I'm doing that, and I feel like there was something else I wanted to show you, and I can't remember what it is. I don't know. If it comes to me, I'll get back on here, but if not, you guys will just never know what it was, and I'll never know what it was that I thought was so important. The other thing that I've been wanting to just kind of share with you guys, just because you are following me on this professional journey of contemplating administration or just teaching life in general, is last week, I was admin designee for the day. So my principal was out and the vice principal was otherwise occupied. So I was the administrator for the day. And so typically for me, what that means is if there's a project they need me to work on, I'll work on that throughout the day. But I spend a good portion of my day outside during recess and lunch. And so I was at lunch, and we have lunch with grade levels separated. So first goes to lunch at one time, second and third goes to lunch at another time, fourth and fifth goes to lunch at a separate time. And there's one particular lunch that is a little bit more rambunctious than others. And the kids aren't misbehaved, but they're just very loud. Like when they want to be dismissed, they're pretty loud about it. And the proctors just have said that they've had a hard time with that particular group of students. But again, not that they're bad, but just they need them to kind of calm down. So I happened to be in the cafeteria at a moment where it was very rambunctious in there. So I went over to that grade level and said, you know what? At this moment, I was pretty stern because I was speaking to almost all of them. You know, you guys' behavior, this is not okay. You guys know this is not what you're supposed to do. You need to be seated, wait to be dismissed, so on and so forth. So then afterwards, I just double checked and I asked my mom, you know, is this like every day or is this once in a while? And she said it's pretty consistent. And then I asked another proctor just to get a second perspective, and that proctor said the same thing, that this type of behavior is pretty consistent. So I decided, okay, I know that they've been spoken to as a whole group before, but maybe they just need to be spoken to as each individual class and just give them a very general conversation, or really have a conversation with them about reminders. So I did that. I spoke to 2 of the classrooms, and then one I couldn't get to because just the scheduling didn't work out. And it wasn't a shame on you, bad, bad, bad. It was really like, okay, raise your hand and remind me of what you're supposed to do. If you want to be dismissed, how do we do that? And all of that. And it was fine. I was probably in each classroom for maybe 2 to 5 minutes, but probably closer to 2 minutes. And I didn't think any more about it. I just left and thought, hopefully that helps. The next morning, a teacher from that grade level came over before school started and made it very clear that she didn't necessarily agree with me doing that, and didn't like, I won't say that she didn't, I don't think she said those words, but it was clear that she took issue with me doing that and wanted to know if what I experienced that day had happened on more than one occasion, or was it just particularly bad on that day. And if it's happening on more than one occasion, then we need to let administration know. And that was the gist of the conversation, but I can tell she was bothered. So I let her know that as far as I know, this is happening on multiple occasions. It's fairly consistent. I reiterated that the kids aren't being bad, but they are being more rambunctious than they should be. And that I had already contacted the principal and said, you know, I'd like to chat with you to talk about just my observations of behaviors at lunch and recess and what I felt like could be helpful. And she just kind of said, okay. But she, prior to that, kept implying or saying that she was going to go talk to administration. And if I were to be honest, I felt like with her doing that, because she said it a few times, it honestly felt like she was saying that to kind of make me second guess what I did, or make me feel intimidated by the fact that she was going to go to them, or whatever the case may be. So I didn't really appreciate that very much. Especially because I feel like I was given a responsibility of acting as administrator. I saw a situation. I thought, what do I think would be a good solution or a good assistance to improve the situation? And that's what I chose to do. I didn't single any one class out. I didn't single any one individual out because it wasn't an individual problem or an individual class problem. So that was probably the first time, not that I've been admin designee often, but that's the first time where I had to make a decision as a quote-unquote administrator on that day that, you know, I know someone wasn't happy about. And if I were to tell the truth, it took me aback because she was really bothered by it. And I'm still now trying to identify what was it that really bothered her, because I did not specifically say her class, and I did not say that they were bad, and I didn't single anyone out. So I don't really know, and I probably won't know because I have a feeling that we won't really talk about it anymore after that. But it was just interesting. Because in the moment, as soon as I realized she was bothered, I had to make a conscious choice to myself, how are you gonna respond? And so the way that I responded is I let her say her piece. I didn't interrupt her when she was saying what she felt like she needed to say. And when it seemed like she was waiting for me to respond, I just responded with the facts of what I did, who I spoke to, and that was it. So it was interesting. So I've been wanting to share that with you guys because I thought it was just a new experience for me, and it was a challenging experience in some ways, and hopefully I handled it appropriately. But I know when I spoke to the principal about it, she thought that what I did was okay because I let her know. Like, I let her know that there is a teacher that is not pleased about what I chose to do, and she indicated that she was going to talk to you about it, so she may be coming to you. So I just want you to know that her and I talked. This is what I said, this is what I did, so that she felt prepared should that come about. So that's it. As far as what I'm doing for the rest of the day, I am going to stop at the grocery store because I am going to buy some garlic bread to go with this pasta that I'm making from Blue Apron, and then I'm going to cook. If I'm really good, I'll go home and take Genesis on a walk. But I'm gonna cook and then probably think a little bit more about some open house stuff and go from there. So that's it. All in all, it was a good day. Everything's still going well with my student teacher. It really is quite nice to have a second adult body in the classroom, because there have been a couple of moments where things got a little hectic, or I needed her to do something for me. Like, she helped me research something that I was thinking about doing with my class for back to school night. She got that all researched for me. I had her pull a couple of groups during our Wonders block, and that's great. And she's on the tail end of her student teaching, so she's fairly experienced, so that has been fantastic, and maybe you guys will get to see her one day. So anywho, I'm gonna say goodbye now. I will see you guys in the morning, and we'll see what Thursday has in store for us. So bye. All right, happy Thursday. Here's my outfit today. This is completely from Old Navy, except for the shoes. The sweater I've had since last year. This black top is similar to one that I bought last year, but I bought another one. And then these pants here. I love these pants because they're very comfortable. I have a couple pairs that look like that. Black sandals that are old, as you guys have seen before. And this watch. And this necklace here that is probably from somewhere like Old Navy. So I will see you guys later. Good evening. It is about 7:10 on Thursday, and I apologize for the lighting, but I wasn't gonna vlog at all today because I've just had a headache all day, and then I felt bad because I just felt like I should vlog because I was at work, and so I took a shower. I'm leaving my makeup on a little bit longer so that I can vlog for you guys, just to check in with you to see how my day went. Let me turn down the volume on this TV. So I got home probably about 5:30 or so, and I just have been waking up with a headache every day this past week, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's stress or whatever, or maybe I'm tired or whatever the case may be, but I have decided that tomorrow I'm going to take a mental health day, so I'm taking the day off. I decided to take advantage of the fact that I have a student teacher right now, and even though she's only been there for a few days, you know, she pretty much understands how my classroom is ran. She's very experienced, so there's no issue there. And tomorrow is Friday, and Fridays are pretty easy because they have PE and they have library. So I told her, you're really just going to be taking them from one place to the other for the majority of the day, and then the work that they're going to do is they're going to work on an open house project that she's kind of gotten started for me. They're going to do a project on something called Storyboard That. So they wrote these stories for a company called Imagination Machine, and then I'm gonna have them translate that or turn that into like a comic book type thing. And so she played around on the website and figured out how to use it. So that is what her main, I need to rest my arm, what her main objective is going to be tomorrow. So yeah, so I left her some notes and some guidelines on what I thought would be helpful to her, and I told her I'll have my phone on me all day tomorrow, but I think she'll be fine. So I I think this might be the third time in my 10 plus years of teaching that I've just taken a day off just because I needed a day. And this year I know that I've already been out a lot more than 20 days, but for professional reasons, and I just am at a point where I just feel run down and I just need just a day where I don't have to do anything. I can just literally lay and rest. So my plan for tomorrow is really just to wake up, exercise, and then just rest the rest of the day, because I have been waking up every morning this week with a headache. But I just wanted to pop in and say hello and share with you a book that I wrote in my class today because they really liked it. And I'm really sorry for the glare on my glasses, but I can't help it. So today is International Women's Day. I think that's what it's called. And for our backpack soundtrack this morning, all year I've been playing multiplication songs from Mr. DeMaio. And today, since it was International Women's Day, I decided to play Girl on Fire by Alicia Keys. So when they came in, I announced, you know, it's International Women's Day or Day of the Woman. And the kids got, and I said, yay, and everybody got excited. And then I played that song and the girls really liked it. Like they were singing along. It was pretty cute. So this whole month so far I've been reading books that are mostly centered around women or girls, and today I decided to read a book, and I'm going to show it to you on Amazon because I don't have the book with me obviously, but the kids really liked it, especially the boys. So it is called, here it is, if it focuses, it is called Nurse, Soldier, Spy, the story of Sarah Edmonds, a Civil War hero. So it is about this woman named Sarah Evans, who I honestly had never heard of before. And I think she's 19 years old, and it says in the book that by 19 years old she had been dressing as a man and living or pretending to be a man for 3 years because she was trying to escape an arranged marriage. And that was how she was kind of staying under the radar. And I believe she left Canada to come to the United States, and because she felt like the United States gave her a certain sense of freedom because she got away from that marriage, she decided to try and enlist in the Civil War as obviously a boy. And at first they turned her away because they thought it was a boy, but they thought it was a very young boy. And then they still needed more soldiers, so she tried again and she was able to get in, and she ends up being hired as a spy. And so the book is a little bit longer, and at first I told the kids I was going to read half of it today and then half of it tomorrow, but I had read a good portion of it, and by the time I stopped I realized I was pretty close. And so they were just excited that I was going to finish the whole book that day. Like when I decided, you know what, I'll just finish it, one of the boys was like, yes. So he was very excited, but it was good. I didn't know anything about that story. The kids were really into it. We got to talk a little bit about the Civil War and what that was about, like just really the basics because they're only in the 3rd grade. But we did that. So aside from that, it was a pretty typical day. Right now my student teacher for the past couple days has been in charge of the math lessons. So she's been teaching math, and I've been picking up language arts, and I've had her pull groups during language arts as well. So that's really it. I'm gonna go downstairs and eat my leftovers from yesterday, and then just try and relax and just enjoy a relaxing day tomorrow of resting. I don't know if I'll vlog because I'm not gonna really do anything in particular. Just try and like rejuvenate my mind and body. So anyway, that's it. I will talk to you guys maybe tomorrow. So I guess just in case if I don't get on tomorrow, I'm gonna say see ya from here, because it's probably more likely than not that I won't vlog. So let me just go ahead and close out the vlog right here. So I hope this vlog turns out okay, because it's been a while since I've vlogged every day for the week, and you know, I was kind of out of the habit. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be sure to see you guys next week. I don't know, that's it. So I'll see you guys then. Good night, goodbye, have a good one.